All right, here we are. Welcome.
How's it
Welcome
going?
to the first inaugural podcast of SquishMitten Fret Millen.
I am Fret Millen.
And I am SquishMitten.
Uh, so we do not have a official name yet, and I think that should be what we touch subject on today.
Yeah,
Um,
we can touch on various names for the podcast and we can figure it out along the way, and I think that'll be a good way to figure out.
yeah, I mean, we've been going with like our name, like we Squishmitten and the Fret Millen podcast.
Yeah, I think that's good until we figure out how to get our all of our equipment working. And
Yeah, which we've been having a lot of trouble. We just dropped quite the amount of money on all this equipment, and we can't figure out how to get it to work.
yeah,
So
but that's okay. So we'll figure it out in the next couple episodes,
yeah,
maybe within the
hopefully.
next first episode. That would be great
I mean,
if
I'm
we can
using this
figure it out.
microphone as a prop because it doesn't actually work, but that's something we'll figure out.
That's fine with me.
I just
And
feel more comfortable talking into a microphone. I feel like that makes
yeah, definitely talking into microphones would be much more comfortable.
yeah.
But we
Unfortunately,
have microphones here. We have
that
all
we
the
spent a
equipment that we
lot of
need,
money on.
and we spent some money on
Luckily, we
it.
got the camera to work. That's so we got crispy fucking camera work,
We got
but
crisp cameras. We got crisp microphones that will be in effect soon enough. We also
um,
have a cat mascot that will
yes,
be
meow.
annoying us
How's it
during
going?
the entire during the entire
Introduce yourself,
podcast.
meow.
His name is Mao Babar. He is a Maine Coon type cat, and he's royalty. So
um,
he will be with us during the podcast whenever he wants to be.
Yes, but the main topic that we do want to touch is coming up with what's the name that we're is it gonna be just Fret the Fret and Squish podcast or the Squish and Fret? I feel like the Squish and Fret podcast honestly rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I mean, I don't
Um,
mind. I mean, if people want to say it the other way, that's fine with me too.
I mean, I know you were saying the SquishMitten and the Fret Millen podcast, but I just feel like that's a big jumble of words in my mouth, and I don't know like I don't know if that's going to be easy to
I
introduce
think the
ourselves every
I
day.
think the more complex the name is, the funner it'll be for
Mm,
the listeners
Maybe
to.
maybe we could just label it as the Squishmitten and Fret Millen show, and we'll just open up with the introductory of this is the Squish and Fret podcast.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean,
Um,
I don't mind experimenting for a little bit for the first couple episodes, but
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
this is what it is for right now. I mean,
Yeah,
this is our first episode. This is
yeah,
our
we've got time. We've got time to make these executive decisions of what our podcast would be. Um, but I think the Squish and Fret podcast honestly would be
yeah. We'll go with that. We'll go with that for now, and then we'll see if any of the listeners have any better suggestions, and
okay.
we'll be open to any type of suggestions
Yeah, we
that
definitely
the
want
outsiders might.
creative suggestions. That would be fucking amazing to actually, communicate with people. Definitely starting off, it's like we definitely don't have anybody to listen to this right now besides like close friends and stuff. So eventually in the future, it would be great to actually like converse with our future users if we have any. That'd be
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
absolutely. But
Um,
our listeners can definitely give us some positive feedback or negative feedback.
yeah.
We're open to any type of suggestions that you guys may have.
And we're
So
definitely open to talking to you guys eventually. Our future listeners, we're definitely open to talking to. We would like to like set up calls. Maybe like we could take calls at a certain point in time. And
yeah, we'll set up a phone line for our friends, people and friends to call in and give us any type of tips that they might have,
yeah,
or
or if we're just having a specific topic
because
of
we are nowhere near
discussion.
professionals of this type of podcasting. So
No, yeah, we're just a couple of friends. Backstory: we're just we're very close friends. We've been friends since, I don't know, fucking middle school. We were probably like 12, 13.
Oh, dude, no, I remember us being friends talking about fifth grade fucking teachers
Yeah.
and knowing about fucking Mr. Kucher, and
Yep.
that was like definitely in like the fifth grade era.
Yeah. I actually moved to Phil's area or
Well, no, you've
SquishMitten's
actually
area.
you've actually been in the area for quite some
I've
time.
been.
You
It's been some time. I
kind of just moved around the area a little bit,
Yeah.
but we're always in the same vicinity of each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. Well, I moved in your area in the fifth grade. You were actually in Veeder at the time. I remember. You were in Veeder. It was your last year
Wow.
of Veeder, and I met you through my brother, which was friends with your brother, uh, and that's how we ended up becoming good friends. That was years ago. What are you? I'm 32
Yeah,
now.
that was the very first way that we met was through your brother Nolan,
Yeah.
and he was friends with my brother Gianni, and eventually they just hung out so much that we eventually met each other,
Yep. And
and
ever since then, it's been
ever since then we've just been good friends, and we just been hanging out. And
yeah, years. I don't even know how many years it is anymore. I mean, 30. I don't know. How old are you in the fifth grade? How old were you in the fourth grade?
I have no idea how old you
Yeah,
are
I
in
don't. I don't
fifth
know.
grade.
It's been more
I
than
mean,
more than 15
you're
years.
like 11 or 12 or
Yeah.
13 in the
So
fucking fifth grade, but I have no idea. If anybody wants to correct us on that, feel free to go
yeah,
ahead,
please
and
tell us what age you are in the fourth and fifth
because
grade
I'm not
because
really trying to do that type of research right now.
yeah, I barely even know what age I am right now
I
anymore.
know I'm honestly trying to forget what age I am because time is just going by so fast that
Oh, it's flying
I don't.
by.
I still feel like I'm fucking 18 years old,
Yeah.
even though I
I
am
mean,
not
I
18.
literally just got ID'd at the gas station for buying beer because the lady thought I was 19. It was actually a funny story because I went outside, my car was running in a pretty sketchy area, and I have a decently nice car, and it was running outside, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I decided that I wanted to go check on my car, and I gave the beers to my friend here, Squish, and ran outside, and it turns out that the lady thought that I was 19 and I was trying to have my friend buy me beer.
Which would
So
be some sort of a compliment for a lady to think that you're only 19 years old.
yeah, I
I
guess
wish,
so.
I
I
wish,
get it a
I
lot.
wish people thought that I was 19 still.
I get it a lot. I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel like a compliment. It feels more like a inconvenience. Um,
Yeah, when you get older and try and buy beers, and then people try and give you shit about buying beers, it
yeah,
kind of is a pain in the ass.
it's
But
like yeah, like Jesus Christ, I gotta pull my wallet out and show them my ID,
I
which
honestly haven't been ID'd in a long time, and I don't know if I should be offended by that or not, or if I should be flattered that they don't ID.
I
But
don't
I
know.
mean,
I just think it's an inconvenience. I really don't. I don't get because I get told a lot every time I go to work and work with new people. They're like, "Oh man, I thought you were 21 or 19," and I'm like, "No, I'm 32."
well, that's a good thing, and that means that you're aging. It means that you're aging well.
I guess I am. I'm aging well, but there's handsome looking older people that look their age or might even look older than their age, but they're handsome.
Well, it's
It's just
usually because of their lifestyle. I
some people
mean,
age right though. Some people age right.
yeah,
I'm
but
aging slow, but some people age old and they age right.
yeah, but when you're doing like hardcore stuff like smoking cigarettes and drinking beer, it kind of takes a toll
Yeah,
on the way you look later in life. So,
sure. Or if you're doing meth or crack, yes, it
but
definitely
they
hits you
say black
hard.
doesn't crack. So usually black people kind of always look young.
Yeah, and I do have some black in my genetics. I'm about like 33% or maybe even more, but
Have you ever taken
um,
a one of those 23andMe
I
things?
haven't, but
And
my parents have. Both of my parents
really,
have, yeah, and I haven't. No one has too.
oh, that's cool.
So I wanted to, but I don't know. I just money's hard to come by, and I'm not that interested. I just did the mathematical equation. Like my parent, if my mom's half black, then that would make me a quarter black.
Yeah,
So I just figured I'd go off of their stuff and say that that's,
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just going off what my parents would tell me, which they say. I mean, I know that both of my parents are
well,
100%
yeah,
Italian.
you're like 100% Italian,
My
so it's
mother's
not,
my mother's parents, which would be my grandparents, who were immigrants to this country, who came from straight from Italy, and my father's parents,
Italia,
who are
the homeland.
Italians, who came to this country also, but started to live in New York. So they're New York immigrants, and my my mother's my mother's parents are 100% Italian immigrants, which still have very thick
Very nice
accents,
people.
and they are
Are
very
both of
very
your
nice people.
mom's parents still
Well,
kicking?
my grandpa passed away, but my
God,
grandmother's still alive. She's like 82 or something like that, but still walking around, still like making a garden every year, and
yeah,
still
that's
like
fucking crazy. I
picking
hope I'm able to
tomatoes
do
and
stuff
doing
like
all
that
that type
at
of shit.
80. My grandfather just passed last year. He was 87, and he was in horrible fucking condition. I never want to grow to be that. Like, if I'm growing to be 87, I better not be in bad condition
That's
because
crazy because my grandpa lived to be 90 something, like
jeez.
92 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think my
But that's because
grandfather
he
didn't
was living off fucking.
like
He was living
homegrown
off,
shit.
yeah, like homegrown
Yeah, he was
garden
eating healthy.
stuff.
My grandfather was from the south, so when he lived with us his last year alive, and he was eating southern shit like I don't know, buttermilk. I don't even know what the fuck buttermilk is, but it doesn't sound healthy, you know.
I wouldn't consider buttermilk to be that healthy,
It
but
sounds like you're putting fat straight into your fucking bloodstream.
that's kind of what it sounds like.
So yeah, I don't know. He was in horrible conditions. He stayed with us, and he couldn't walk. He couldn't piss on his own. I used to have to carry him around. We had a portable pisser in the living room, and he was in such bad condition he couldn't use his walker to walk over to the pisser. It was probably 5 steps for me, but for him it was like all day. I remember
Yeah,
one time I carried him across the living room to take a piss, and then he got to the toilet and he said, I can't do it. I got to go back to the couch." So I had to take his full weight. He was probably, I mean, I'm 130 pounds. He was probably like 230. I had to
wow.
carry this motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets to be that old, you kind of need some assistance to
Yeah, I
help you
mean, I
do
mean,
normal
apparently
things.
your
I mean,
fucking grandmother
my
doesn't.
my grandpa, he walked around with a walker, but he lived in a house that had 2 floors, so going up and down the stairs was kind of a
It got
kind
to
of a
him after a
challenge.
while.
Yeah, he fell down the stairs at one point and had to go to the hospital and like
Jeez.
cracked his head open and was
Yeah,
bleeding and
that's
stuff
the
like
that's
that.
the age
And
I don't know if I want to do.
my uncle sent me pictures of that. I'm like, I don't want to see pictures of that.
You
Like,
just send me a crime
just
scene.
tell me that it happened, and I'll be fine. I'll come visit you or
Yeah,
something.
I don't know if I want to live to be that age. Like, there's a certain point where like I don't know, you need somebody to take care of you, and like your kids are eventually gonna become too busy to take care of you. And then if you're living on your own, it's like you and your wife, if both of you are still around, and then it's like you guys can't help each other. The best thing that you guys could do is call 911. I guess that's the best. You know,
Yeah, or
you
have
have
to hire somebody to come and
yeah, which
help you do
I
normal
mean, a lot of
things.
families don't have that kind of money, and it's kind of
Well, that's what they did with my grandfather. They hired somebody to come like help do normal things for him around the house, like take him to the bathroom and give him showers and stuff like that. But I met that person at my grandfather's funeral, and he was a nice guy. He told me that I asked him how he was, and he was like he was kind of grumpy, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, he
I
was,
would be grumpy.
and no offense, but he was a black kid who was coming over to help, so he was a little grumpy, but I mean I
I
can
understand
understand
it.
that. Like
Yeah, my
I can
grandfather.
not that he was black, but I can understand him being just grumpy just because somebody had to come help him do things around the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, I don't know.
It could have been
Having a
it could have been
stranger.
anybody, and he would have been
Yeah,
grumpy about
no,
it.
having
But
a stranger in your house in general is probably uncomfortable. I mean, we ended up hiring somebody, but it was a family friend. It was my uncle's girlfriend.
that would be much more comfortable.
But dude, it was just a strange time because I was taking care of him for a while because you know, my mom's not able to pick him up. She's not able to carry that body weight.
Hmm.
But dude, there's multiple times I've seen my grandfather's dick and it was just very uncomfortable. So it's like you need
Yeah,
somebody
see,
to take care of.
that's the weird point about having to help your family
Yeah, like I
members.
gotta help him whip his dick out to take a piss, and it's not fun. It's
I mean, if anything, it'd probably just be easier to just start peeing in the shower rather than just peeing in the
yeah.
toilet.
Well, he started pissing on my couch, and honestly, that's what I was my line right there. He started pissing on our new couch that my mother just bought. So I've yelled in his direction a couple of times because I didn't have like a super close relationship with my grandfather. Um,
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather didn't speak very fluent English. He kind of spoke like a little bit of broken English and mostly Italian. So like, I kind of got to the point where I would understand a little bit of his Italian, but if he wasn't speaking any sort of English, it was kind of hard for me to respond back. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
remember I've met your grandparents a couple of times, and I remember your grandmother was the one that was mostly conversing with me.
yeah, she's much more fluent with English because her children, my uncle and my mother, they they know English and Italian very well, so they can speak both. So communicating with them and then communicating back to me made it very easy for me to kind of understand and then respond back to them.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Grandparents is just a weird subject. I honestly don't even know how we got into this topic, but grandparents, I don't know. I think people should start at a young age. You should start thinking maybe you should spend time with your grandparents or start thinking about getting that old because people don't. A lot of families don't have that kind of money to have somebody watch over them, and then their kids might be too busy with their life. You
Yeah,
know.
very true. And then they tend to put them in a home if they can't like help them themselves. But I think the way to do it is to let them live in their own home and then hire somebody to come to the
Yeah.
house and help them
Yeah, because
do normal things.
nobody wants to be forced. Like I know my grandfather wasn't comfortable because he started pissing the fucking couch, and it pissed me off. And one morning I remember I heard my mom having a conversation with my grandfather, like, "Oh, you need to either get adult diapers or you need to figure something out." And he didn't want to get adult. He was trying to deny that he was pissing on the couch. So I overheard this conversation and I was like, Mom, it's not a fucking discussion. It's like that's what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm not sitting
sometimes you
on
just gotta come to terms
yeah, I'm
with
not
what's
sitting on
happening.
pissy couches. Old people are so grouchy too. They don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, old people don't give a fuck.
Old people don't
They
give a
will
fuck.
say whatever they want,
Yeah.
and
Dude, I've got stories about my grandfather. I really never even on my mother's side, I never spent time with my grandfather other than when I was young. I remember a couple of fishing trips and like we went here and there and
yeah, the last few things I did with my grandpa was I would come over to their house on the weekends and mow the lawn for him, and
yeah, I
we
remember we
would
used to
have
mow the lawn all the time.
very brief conversations about just normal stuff and be
Yeah,
like, how are things and how's school and how's life going for you, and
yeah, I don't.
it was just very basic because he didn't speak very fluent English, so
Yeah,
it
I
was
could see
just very
where.
simple
But the
conversations.
thing is, I really don't think that grandparents are that like they make it in like TV shows and stuff. They make grandparents seem like they're always there, and I really don't think that's realistic. I don't think grandparents in somebody's lives are a realistic thing. Like they're there sometimes, often more than other people's grandparents, but to an extent, I think grandparents take care of their kids, which would be, your parents, and then they see you as a child.
Yeah.
When you're a child, you grow up and see them, but when you start to grow up, it kind of becomes like a lesser thing. And I don't think it should be a frowned upon thing.
Yeah, no, but I feel like it's just much more easier if they speak fluent English rather than
Yeah,
just
well,
like
yeah, yeah.
half broken English and half
I
Italian,
mean,
because I mean I don't understand most Italian, but like if he's speaking to me in some sort of English and then kind of transitions into some kind of Italian, I can still sort of understand him.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather was not much off from speaking Italian or not be speaking. He spoke fucking Southern, so I didn't know what the fuck he was saying half the time. Like literally, he just fucking
Yeah, that,
rambled.
that southern accent is like, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
exactly.
no.
That dude, that's exactly what the fuck he sounded like. That's an exact impression. Like if I pulled up video of my grandfather talking, you wouldn't be too far off. And I couldn't understand him. I talked when he was living with me. I probably talked to him a total of 3 times. Like seriously, like sat down and talked to him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, when your grandparents get old, what you want to do is just spend as much time with them as you can because, they're slowly
Yeah,
deteriorating and, you want to
when you know
you
they're
want to spend
going,
as much time with them as
when you know
possible.
they're getting close to that time, their expiration date, you definitely do want to see them more. I didn't have a great relationship with my grandfather. I honestly wasn't crazy about my grandfather on my mother's side. I didn't know my grandfather or my grandmother on my dad's side. They died at a young age for me, but no, my grandfather was I don't know. It's not that he was a piece of shit, but I don't know. There was something about him, and maybe he was too black. I don't know. Maybe he was too black for me, and I couldn't vibe with him or something.
Might be, but I mean, when they can talk fluent English, it's much easier to connect with them. So,
Yeah, it is.
point being, if you have grandparents who can still talk English to you, spend as much time with them as you can, because
Yeah, definitely when you know
they
they're
lived
going.
they lived a long life, and all they want to do is just see their grandkids, see their kids, and
Yeah,
have as much time with them as
they
possible.
want to lay on their bed, their final their deathbed. They want to lie on that deathbed and feel happy and feel they want to feel like they had people in their lives. And usually at that age, you don't want to have people in your lives. All your friends are probably passed by that time, or if they're not, then you're passing before them,
I
and
mean, even
they're
being
too old to see you.
even being fucking as old as I am, it's you start seeing your friends
Less and
getting
less.
less and less, and you
Eh,
start having
yeah.
not as many close friends as you did when you were in high
So yeah,
school.
yeah, exactly. Like we were saying, me and Phil have been friends since middle school, basically. He was in Veter, which was fourth grade. That was elementary, but he was basically in middle school.
Yeah,
But
I was
we
basically going from elementary school to middle
Yeah,
school
but
at
we
that
used
point.
to at that time we used to see each other every single day. After school, we'd see each other, and then we'd see each other on the weekends. We want to chill, and then high school was over, and we got jobs, and not me so much. Me, I was kind of a
Yeah,
bum.
but I mean, even in high school was such a fun time because I mean, I was sort of taking my classes seriously, but you were
Oh,
fucking going to everybody's classes
I wasn't
just to
taking
hang
shit
out with
serious,
fucking people.
dude. I don't know what I was taking
I
serious
had
at the
you
time.
showing up in my Spanish class when fucking substitutes were coming in, and you would
Yeah.
show up to my fucking lunch
Oh,
period even
I
when you
remember
didn't
showing up to
have.
your. My favorite was showing up to your English class with Miss Loopy, and
Oh
then I would show
man,
up to your social studies class with
Mr. Littell.
Mr. Latello, old guy, right?
He wasn't old, but he was just like he was just a cool guy.
I feel like he was older than
Yeah,
me. It's
I
just
feel like he knew that you weren't even in the class, but
oh,
he was fucking
he
still
definitely
just
knew
letting you
because I
there.
think I had his class earlier in the day.
Yeah, I think you probably had Mr. Littell, and
Yeah.
you already knew the guy, and he
Um.
just didn't even care that you were
Yeah.
hanging out.
There was a couple of cool fucking teachers back then
So
that didn't give
that
a
was
shit.
one cool thing about school with me and Fred, that he would come hang out in my classes, and he would skip his own classes just to come hang out with fucking my lunch
Yeah.
period or in my Spanish class or
Because
in my
I
social
literally I
studies.
was not doing shit in high school. I was in I was in I don't think I did one homework assignment in high school. Like from ninth grade to 12th grade. I mean I didn't graduate, but the whole entire time the whole time I didn't pay attention. I was just having fun. I was living it
Hey
up and
man,
I'm glad.
I feel like that's what school is all about. It's more about developing your social
Yeah,
skills rather than it
developing
is.
yourself in general. Yeah, you finding yourself as a person.
Yeah, because that's where you figure out who you are, because you interact with so many different types of people
Yeah.
rather than you talking to the jocks or talking to the
Yeah,
weirdos or talking to the goth kids or
you network kind of.
yeah, and that's kind of where I was. I didn't really have like a specific social group. I kind of knew a little bit of everybody. Like I sat with the popular kids at lunch, but I went to classes with all the fucking nerd kids because I was in like the fucking the science classes. I was in the project lead the way classes, so they were like the smart kids. But
I don't even know what those classes are.
those are like the it's the science classes. It's like
I
the
didn't go to.
technical
Yeah, I didn't
classes
go to any of those
where you
classes.
learn like C++ and fucking
No clue what that
all
is.
those engineering
You know what the
classes
main
and
class that I went to in high school was, besides lunch class, which isn't it? I know
which
it's
isn't
not a
even a
class. I know it's
class.
not a class, but I attended it so much I consider it a class. Automotives is the only class that I
Oh my
really
god,
attended.
automotives was the fucking
Yeah,
greatest. I
because
love that
Mr.
class.
Narkin and the other one, they
Hanley.
dude, they were so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
really didn't care. Like you
yeah,
would be able to bring your own car into the fucking shop
yep,
and work on your own car if you
yep.
had fucking
It
problems
was
with it.
awesome. Really, really cool guy. Shout out to Mr. Norkin. He was like one of my favorite teachers. One of my only teachers that I actually attended. Um, yeah, I think high school is all about development of your yourself. You know, you find yourself, and it's not that important. I wish I went back and took it a little more serious, but I am doing pretty decent for myself right now. I've got a good paying job. I've got benefits. I've got health care, and I'm making good money. Um,
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think high school is that indicative of
yeah,
where you're gonna be.
if you
But I mean,
actually
it
set your
does help if
sights.
you have a
Yeah, it
degree.
helps. It broadens your horizons and opens you up to new possibilities. And people people might see your strengths are in science, and next thing you know, you got a scholarship to a great science school.
Yeah, but some people look at that as they just see the type of degree that you got in high school and then they automatically hire you. But
Yeah,
what it really is basically just having experience in that field.
yeah,
Like you don't necessarily have to have a degree in something, but
and
if you
sometimes
have that type of experience in that field, then they'll also hire you at the same
yeah,
fucking rate.
and there are companies that are looking for new new brains, new blood, and they're willing to take a chance on people if you show the ambition. Sometimes it's just all about your attitude.
Absolutely. If you're willing to show the ambition, then even if you don't have a degree, they're willing to take a chance
Yeah,
on you to
yeah.
see how you fit in.
If you got that drive, I mean, some people they don't know what they want in life, but other people they do. My thing when I started getting drive, because I didn't really start having drive until I was like probably 27, 28. I didn't start having that drive until I realized what I wanted, and that was money. And I chased money, and now I'm making pretty good. I'm making pretty
Yeah,
good
but
money.
that's
I'm
that.
not making amazing. I'm not making like fucking six digits. You know?
Yeah, no, but that naturally comes later in life because
Yeah,
eventually you have to put the partying and the fun lifestyle
yeah,
behind you, and then you have to start thinking about your future. So you start getting into the mind state of okay, I need to start making money now,
yeah.
which is basically what I did because I mean I'm at a job right now where I kind of feel like I'm in over my head, but I have
Oh, that's every beginning of every job. That's every beginning. You could fucking work at a fucking Five Guys, which I have, and you like right off the bat, you feel like, oh, this is not for me. But if you keep at something and you stay persistent, and people see that you're working with, they will take a liking to you. It's
yeah.
a lot of it's about drive.
Hmm.
Some of it is experience to a certain extent. Um, Depending on what trade you get in. Like if you're trying to be a surgeon, then you need drive at a young age. You can't just jump. I can't jump into being
Well,
a
being a
surgeon.
surgeon, that's something you need to have
Yeah, that's like
certain
if
years
I
of
tried to
school
become a
for.
surgeon like right now, they'd be like, "No, you're going to kill too many people." I'd be like, "What's
Yeah,
wrong with
well,
that?"
that's something you need to have education for and have to
Yeah,
go
like
to school
yeah,
for
that's
for 4 to 8 years for.
strenuous amount of
But like,
hours and
there's
studying.
plenty of other fields that you can just have experience in without actually having a degree and still be able to excel, depending on how well you pick up to the pace of it.
Yeah,
Because which is basically what I'm doing right now, which is like a more general type of construction. But before working there, I was doing just one certain type of construction, which was just brick,
So
concrete,
you
and
had past
masonry.
experience, but it was
But
more of a
now,
specific.
yeah, it was very specific. But now I'm in like a general type of construction where I need to know like kind of a little bit about every type of trade out there,
The horizons
which is like
has
HVAC,
opened
electric,
up.
and fucking like finishes and all that different type of stuff, rather than just knowing about brick and concrete, which is
Yeah.
what I did before the job that I'm at now. But
So what you did before, your experience only applies about 15% to what you're doing now.
yeah, but when you if you have a good mentor who's like kind of coaching you through it while you're doing it, which
A
is
lot.
basically what I'm
I feel
doing
like a
now.
lot is about a
I'm
mentor.
working with my dad, who has been in the construction industry for his basically entire life, 40 plus years. So, he knows basically everything that I need to know. So if there's ever a question that I have, I can always ask him, and he'll give me the answers. He may be frustrated with the questions that I ask him, but again, I have to remind him that this is not my expertise. So I kind of need a little bit of guidance
Yeah.
through the things that I'm not familiar with.
I feel very similar on that. I'm not working with my father, but I'm working construction. So Squishman, he's an estimator. That's correct. Is
I'm
that
a partial estimator. Project engineer
project
is
engineer?
my official title.
Okay, so we're both in construction. Squishman is a project engineer for a company, and I'm just an electrician, a constructional electrician. Um, which I feel like I can kind of touch on a lot of the stuff about having a mentor. I feel like a lot of it is about having a good mentor. So when I first got into this trade, I didn't know jack shit except for how to complete a circuit. And when I started, I had this older Italian guy who was my mentor, and I don't know, he kind of showed me the ropes at the same time he gave me a lot of shit because I feel like you're gonna bump into a lot of shit in the trade.
Yeah, because I mean, some mentors are better at teaching than others, and other mentors are kind of just get short fused when you don't know certain
Yeah.
things. But you need to have a mentor who's patient
Yes.
and who can like kind of talk you through what you're trying to
Yeah,
do.
because being new, so being new to any job is frustrating. You got to learn the ropes. You got to learn, you got to learn everything. And then having somebody that gets triggered easily isn't good at all. So I don't know. It gets very stressful after a while. You start to get negative thoughts about working the job. Maybe it's not for you, but my mentor at first, he was very hard on me, but I saw why he was hard. He was looking out for us in a way because he knew that we were going to run into other assholes in the trade. So that's the reasoning behind why
Well,
he
yeah,
did
I
that.
mean that's part of construction is because like time is money. So
Yeah.
the faster you
And
do
nothing
the
in
project,
construction is ever on time.
hmm
There's always a date that it's supposed to be done. Let's say
but there's nothing ever goes smoothly
nothing
in
ever goes smoothly. They say, "Oh, this project's supposed to be done in January 2022, and we're 6 months behind." That doesn't mean
it doesn't mean it's your fault. It just means that there were unforeseen problems that came up along the
yeah.
way,
You know
which
what it was?
is but I
Is
mean
that
it's your job to remedy those problems
if
that
you're a mechanic and you're the one actually on the field installing all of the equipment, it's not your fault. It's the estimator's fault. Squish, you could back me up on that,
yeah,
right?
I mean my dad's an estimator, so my dad is basically the lead estimator at the company that I work for. So he has a general overview of how things should go, but when the project actually starts, things don't always work out as smooth
Things
as
get
he
fucked up.
estimates them to be.
So it's weird because Squishman is actually like Squishman's before the scenes. He's setting everything up. He's writing the script. He's planning for everything on how it's gonna go. He's writing the story of the novel or the movie, and I'm the one that's in the movie, and I'm doing all of the action scenes
Yes,
and
that is well put because you have a vision of the way that this project is supposed to go about,
yep,
but then when that project actually starts, there's different things that come up along the way that need to be remedied
yes. Those
that could
are,
push back the date of the completion.
yep.
So,
You got to send
you
in a
know,
change order because something's not
that's
right.
another big part of it. And
Um,
everything's about money, and time is money when it is construction. So
yeah. It can go
that's
from,
what we're dealing with on a
yeah.
regular basis.
It's I mean, it's a well-paying job, but it's also a very strenuous job.
Yeah, but
It's
having the proper crew to be able to work around these unforeseen problems is a major factor in the success of the company and success
yeah,
of the project.
yeah. If you don't have a good team, then you're pretty much fucking yourself in the end.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're working in construction, you would understand that almost everybody who is in that field is not necessarily the nicest person, but they're just there to do their job and get the point across. They don't mean any ill will
Yeah,
towards it.
nothing's
They're just doing
personal
their
in
job.
construction. Nothing is
Exactly. Nothing is
personal. You
personal.
can't bring your personal life into work, and you can't take your work home because
Exactly.
they're not personally attacking you. They're just trying to get people moving. They're
They're
trying to
just, they're
light
just
fires under
trying
people's
to they're
asses,
just trying to get the project done in a timely fashion.
which is understandable because that's your company. You're pretty much leaving a calling card for your company with your work and how
Mm-hmm.
fast you do it and how good you do it. And if
Absolutely.
you don't, if people see that you did shitty work or you took, everybody's just on their phones the whole time. Actually, you know what? This is what I really wanted to talk about is we just bought all of this fucking equipment, all right? We just bought $500 worth of equipment, a little more for this for to start podcasting. Um, we couldn't figure out how to get the microphones to work. We got the webcam working. That's not the point. The point is we went to a store, a big name store. Um, Very big name store, right? A very big name.
Yeah,
They've been around for
absolutely.
a long
They're
time.
they're they're very
We
well known.
so we the process was we walked in. We knew what we wanted. We wanted a microphone. We wanted a camera.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted a light.
Mm-hmm.
We walked in there and we scoped it all out. Boom, boom, boom. This is what we want. Okay, let's find customer service. Where the fuck was customer service the whole time though?
I don't know. It was a very very busy store. There were a lot of people in there, probably buying the same type of equipment that we were looking for. So I don't know if they were understaffed, but
I don't know what it was either because I was looking around and I saw a couple people on their fucking phone. I'm not gonna name the company, but and
it's kind of hard to tell who was working there and who wasn't working there because they're not all really wearing the same
they're
uniform.
not. Some people were very casually dressed.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
We asked for help from one person and they said they're gonna call. Let me see if Greg is still here. I don't know who.
Ben.
Yeah, Ben. I don't know who the fuck Ben is. I don't know who Ben is. Why are you telling
Yeah,
me?
but he
You helped
he
me.
walked away and
You helped me.
never really called Ben or
Yeah.
whoever the fuck
So
that
we
guy
we we
was.
literally
So you kind of have to walk around and just kind of just approach
yeah. So
people.
it's like we were doing the work to find people to help us. But we showed up there. It was probably let's say 5:30. I also did want to say the date. The date today, I don't know what the fuck it is.
1-8.
Saturday. It's January 8th on Saturday, 2022. It's a little into the new year. Um, and we went to the mall to buy equipment to start podcasting because I don't know. I feel like that would be a good topic. Me and my friend here,
Yeah, I mean
SquishMitten, touch a lot of.
it's something we've been wanting to do for we've talked about doing for
Yeah,
quite some time, and
we're
I
always
feel like now more than ever was a good time to do it.
perfect time. Honestly, we could maybe nobody fucking gives a shit about our shit. Maybe they do, but I feel like we do have a lot of good conversations. Like we were saying earlier, we don't see each other that much, but when we do, we have a lot of great
Yeah, no, I
conversations.
mean we both have jobs. We both work 7 days a week
Yeah,
when we're not out with COVID or anything like that.
5 days a week. Um, but no, I just felt extremely frustrated with the customer service at this place. I
Yeah,
get.
but I mean, I can't be mad at them because there was a lot of people in the
I mean,
store.
I can though. After working construction, I feel like I got no downtime to like be on my phone. And I saw about 5 people on their phone, 5 different employees on their phone.
That's pretty much how they figure out all the information on their phone because
That is true.
even when we did get help from some guy, he
He
was
went on
trying
his
to
phone.
he went on his phone and started
He looked.
scanning
He
Q
scanned the.
codes and
Yup.
shit
He
like that
scanned
just
the
to
Q
figure
code.
out trying to
I
figure out what the
agree.
hell we were looking at.
I agree. But on such a busy day, don't you think that people should be moving a little more with a little more pep in their step?
Yeah, they probably should. But like again,
I
it,
mean, no, let me rephrase this because I feel like a hypocrite right now. I used to work at Price Chopper. That was our first job. Both
mhm,
of our first jobs. We worked
absolutely.
together. It
Yep.
was fucking amazing. I used to curse in front
I
of
actually had a
customers
lot
and
of
not
fun
give a
working
shit.
at Price
It was
Chopper.
it was a great time. But now looking back on it, as a driven person, like we're trying to create a podcast here. I feel like we have motivation and we're trying things and we're pushing ourselves out of our comfortability zone. But for now that I'm 32 and I'm working a job where I don't have time to sit back and look on my phone. Maybe I have
Yeah,
one
so
one day a
you're
month.
expecting customer service to be
I'm expecting customer. Yeah, boom, boom. You need help? Hey, what's going on there? What's going that?
exactly.
But these stores they don't rely on good customer service apparently. But they still
No,
get they still
yeah,
get people.
a lot of
It's
well,
nothing
yeah,
like construction.
because they're one of the very few stores who actually have the stuff that they need.
That
But
is true
that's
too.
one of the things that I kind of pride myself upon when I'm working in construction because like these subcontractors they come and they ask the general contractor questions about the project that we
Yes.
invite them for, and
So you need to be on your
I
shit.
like to be the one who knows the answers.
Yeah.
I like to give them quick, fast answers. I don't like to make
Yeah, you
them
don't want to
wait.
say, "Can you give me some time? I'm going to be back with you
Yeah,
in,
because
in 72
if they feel like
hours."
that you're just putting them off, then they're not gonna they're not gonna provide you with the information that you
Yeah.
need, which is
You're not
basically
you're not a
pricing for their work.
liable general contractor at that
Yeah,
point.
so it makes me feel good when there's people out there who come to me and ask me for questions and advice and like certain type of information. And like I like to do everything I can to
Yeah.
get them answers.
At this point in my life, I like the same thing. I like to work for a foreman where they're not on my ass and I can do my job and get what I want done, maybe even more than I expect, because that makes me feel extra good. But I don't like when people put a tab on me and say, "Hey, can you get this done in this time?" If they say, "Can you do this job?" I'll say yes, and then I'll get it done as fast as I can,
Yeah, I'd be like,
as
yeah.
as
I mean,
quality as I can.
I'll accept the job that you ask for, but I mean, I'll do it as fast as possible. I don't know if it's gonna meet your fucking deadline, but
Yes.
I will do it
But
for you.
you have a satisfaction meter inside of yourself where you think,
Where
"Oh
you
man,
know how fast you can
I
get the
just I
job
just
done.
killed it. I just killed it. I did a great
Exactly.
job." I didn't see any of this in their customer service. I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
I'm not trying to shit on them,
it's the
but
type of store that it is, and I feel like they're dealing with a lot of people like that. So
I wish that was my problem. My problem is that I just feel like they were in La La Land. All of them they like going to their job, and they like conversing.
they like kind of like doing things at their own pace.
Yes,
They feel no sense of
they don't have a
hustle.
time. They
They
don't
don't
have a
feel like no
time.
sense of hustle to get
Yeah,
information back to the people that are asking it for it because they probably have more than they probably have 5, 10, 15 people asking them questions about stuff.
yeah.
But
But
you got to ask the right person apparently at that type of store. But
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
That really
when it comes
irks
to
me.
my job, like I'm basically the person that any of these subcontractors want to come to and ask questions. So I'm supposed to be the one who has all the answers. But it's
I
good
just
when you have a mentor who does know all the answers who
yeah,
can
you could go to and
because
turn
I don't
to.
like to wait. Like if somebody asks me a question, I like to give them an answer within a couple minutes,
Yeah,
and like however long it takes, or as soon as fucking possible.
yeah. And if I don't know, I don't want to keep on
Because
dwelling on the situation.
I'm not a construction expert, but when you know somebody who does know the answers,
It makes it a
I don't
lot
like I
easier.
don't like to annoy
That's what
them.
foremen are for. I'm not a foreman. I'm not a journeyman. I'm an apprentice. I'm a fourth year apprentice. I don't know everything. I have my journeyman to turn to or my foreman. So I turn to them and
Exactly.
ask them
So
if I have a question.
those people need to be patient and not give you shit about asking
Yeah,
questions.
but I see. I don't want to keep on harping on this situation. But I feel like there was a lot of employees that were sitting around like they had all the. Now we went there and it was packed, like you said. They were
Hmm.
probably dealing with multiple customers at a time, and I'm not giving them shit about that. But to a certain extent, you got to realize how to end a conversation and how to help a new customer because we were standing at the camera section trying to pick up a camera for what seemed like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was a little bit of time, but we eventually found somebody standing around who was not in a fucking
I
best,
mean, I think you
not
hunted
in
that
a
motherfucker down.
uniform.
I think you hunted him down.
I had to. He was
Exactly.
standing at the desk, so I was like, "You must be somebody who I can ask for help." So, but again, none of the employees were wearing any of the same same
Yeah,
uniforms,
some people
so
were wearing like a
I didn't
shirt
even
with
know
a
who
hoodie
was
under
working
it.
there and who wasn't working there.
Yeah, they had like a name tag with a Nike hoodie on, and it's uh,
I don't know. That's a little bit. What was it? Fucking casual, fucking Saturday or what?
yeah, I don't know. It just felt so slow paced to me. And in this world that I'm in now, the construction world, everything doesn't seem like it's like snap, 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 get it done, get it done. It just seems like people in construction usually have that mindset that they're a go 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 kind of person.
Mhm.
They wanna they wanna get shit done.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
want their
Because
foreman to come up on them and be like,
I mean,
"Hey, did you get that done yet?"
the main mentality in construction to me is time is money. So
It's
I mean,
cutthroat.
the slower you do your job, the more money it's costing.
Yeah, it's cutthroat. I don't know about in the office. Maybe it's not cutthroat. It's cutthroat on the field. It's
Yeah, I mean,
you
in the
could get
office, you probably do have more time to answer questions, but I feel like if you want to get certain information out of these people, then you have to respond to them quickly and get them the
yeah,
information
because
that they need.
that could mean you making a deal or you breaking a deal.
Exactly. That could be the difference between you. It could be the difference between them providing you with the information that you need on a regular basis because we bid multiple projects in a month, sometimes multiple projects in a week. So they don't always have the time to get to every project that we invite them to, but the better you can answer their questions, the
Hmm.
the the more likely they are to give you a number that you're looking for.
Yeah. Um.
So better customer service will always work out to better better finances for your company.
Yeah, and
I don't know if finances is the right
that's
word, but
potentially at the end of the day what you want. No matter whether you work for a mom and pop store or a fucking big chain, at the end of the day you want a job that you know is going to stay open because if you lose that job, you got nothing. And if you push yourself harder, you're going to get that promotion, you're going to get a raise, you only see benefits out of pushing yourself. And it seems like nowadays in this time and age, people just want minimum wage to go up so they can go to a mediocre job and just fucking ring up a couple of things at a gas
or they
station.
can get fucking fired and live off the fucking government for fucking
Exactly,
however
and
many months that fucking lasts for.
I totally understand that mindset, but there's a point. Everybody has childish ways that you got to grow out of. And I feel
Hmm.
like working is one of those things. Sometimes people have that
Yeah,
mindset
when you get
where
into
they just
when
jump
you
into
get into the
things.
workforce, that definitely kind of fades away because the you see the
Yeah,
hustle and bustle behind
it's not
everything.
about making a multi-millionaire extra money. It's about making extra money for yourself. It's about being seen and not just being a nobody. It's not you're not just this nobody that's smoking a blunt before work and going into work blazed as fuck and just fucking ringing up a couple of potato chips at a gas station.
Yeah,
It's you're making a living for yourself. You're making a future. You're being seen by important people. You're being seen by
exactly.
this
Because
millionaire.
the harder you work, it's being seen by your higher ups, and when
It's
your
gonna
high
be
when your
seen.
higher ups see that you're working hard, then that's going to lead to more money in
Exactly,
the future.
it's going to be seen, and if you're that person that's just scraping by to make scraps,
Mm-hmm.
like a job at McDonald's is not for a grown man. As much as that sounds
I know
like
that's a very entry level type of job.
that's an entry level type of job, but people want minimum wage. These people at McDonald's to be making $15 an hour, but really you should be moved on from something by then. Maybe you started late, like I started late myself. I didn't start working hard until I was 28, like I said that earlier. But you can still make progress working at McDonald's at 28 because you have a different mentality than these 18-year-olds.
Because when they see you working hard, you'll get promoted to fucking
Boom,
manager
manager.
within a fucking.
I like that
within
guy.
a
Make
month.
him the manager.
It could be that. It could be that simple, but it all depends on how hard you work.
And you don't have to stop there. That's not the dead end. You don't stop at, oh, I'm the McDonald's manager. This is the end of my road. Fucking, you could keep looking for jobs while working at working at
manager
McDonald's.
at one place could bring you to manager to another high end fucking place.
What got me going is I thought that I would be living like my parents aren't living the best. They're kind of working paycheck to paycheck. They've been doing pretty good for themselves lately. But I always thought I was going to be living like them. Like I was going to be living paycheck to paycheck. I was going to be living in houses that I was going to rent. But then one day it clicked in my head. I said, it's better to be making money right now than it is to be sitting here moping about my lifestyle.
Exactly.
And that kicked me in the ass.
Again,
that lit the fire under my ass.
It doesn't even necessarily mean that you need a degree to start making good
money.
No,
not at all. You don't need a degree.
It's just about your work ethic.
It's your work ethic. It's your mindset. You think people don't see your fucking mindset, but dude, I fully believe that people can look straight into your eyes and see your soul right off the bat. They can see what kind of person you are if you're throwing up a front, if you're a fucking con artist, but if you have no drive, you're not gonna get anywhere because
I know because your higher ups are gonna see that very very quickly.
Where do you get if you're not able to drive? How far are you going to get in life? You're not going to get across the world. Mm-hmm. But if you're able to drive and you've got that drive, you might just make it across the world. You might make it back and go across the world again.
It's that simple, man. It just takes a little bit of...
It takes a little kick in the ass. You gotta, and nobody's going to do it for you.
At some point in life, everybody's going to get that little kick in the ass to be like, okay, I need to start doing something more.
Well, life reelings up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying about certain friends that we have. That as soon as you turn a certain age, things in your mind start changing, and your priorities become different, and you get a little bit of kick in the ass, and you're I need to start doing this. I need to start doing that.
I know I got that kick in the ass late in life. I used to be here every fucking day.
I don't think you got it late. I think you got it at the same exact time as everybody else.
I like hit the kick in the ass maturity. It was like puberty hit me. I was like, boom.
It may not have been at puberty, but it came.
No, not at puberty. I'm saying work puberty.
Okay.
Work ethic
puberty. Yeah. Work puberty.
Like there's puberty and then there's ethic puberty.
Yes.
And my ethics hit me at a decent time.
It hit me at that same exact time. It's like as soon as you get into your late 20s, then that's when you start realizing that you're like, okay, I have other goals in life, so I need to start focusing on this, focusing on that. Stop doing this.
I can't be fucking doing Robitussin and Duster the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, we had plenty of our experiences with that stuff, but at some point it's like I can't do that all the time.
Like I've got a better. It's like I have nothing against people that smoke weed. I really don't. I love people that smoke weed. I don't really smoke weed anymore. I did try an edible a couple of weeks ago, and it hit me fucking hard.
Really? You had a good edible?
I had oh my God.
I mean, all the edibles I've ever tried, like, have never really hit me very hard, but I know that there are edibles out there that will hit you hard.
Have you heard of Delta 8?
Yes, I've heard of Delta 8. I've never tried it, but
apparently it comes from marijuana. It's not like you remember I used to smoke.
Yeah, it's like a variant of marijuana. It's like one molecule.
It comes from marijuana.
Yeah.
You remember I used to smoke that incense shit? Incense. The one time you came
incense.
It was called incense. It was like a fake marijuana. The one time you tried to come pick me up off of my road and I was completely lost. I had no clue where I was.
I don't remember.
When I lived over near the Colony Library. You remember that? I really wish I could make you remember. So there was this stuff called incense. And it was like, it looked like weed. It smoked like weed, but it wasn't weed. It was something weird. It was kind of like, what was that?
What, like K2 or
K2. K2 was it, right?
It
was like that fake weed. It came in a little package.
Yeah, that they sold at head shops.
Yeah, when I quit,
they advertised as legal weed.
Yes. So when I quit smoking, or everybody made me quit smoking, I found an alternative. I would smoke this K2. And when I lived over near the Colony Library, which was, I forget what street that was, but you remember I used to live over there.
Yeah.
So one day, I smoked it, and I decided to go on a walk on those back roads over there, which I knew very well.
Yeah.
But I smoked it, and I was walking around. Literally, it was probably like a left off of my street, and I just kept going straight. And I called you. I said, Phil, you gotta come pick me up. You gotta come pick me up. And you said, where are you? I said, I don't know where the fuck I am. And somehow you found me. Probably because it wasn't far from my house. I was just lost. I was lost as shit. Then there was the time you had to take your car to a mechanic, and you were at the mechanic shop, and I went into, there was a little store next to it, a little grocery store. And I went into the I was walking over to the grocery store smoking this stuff, and I fucking fainted on the front of the front of their doors. And I remember I woke up and I came back to
do not remember that.
Dude, I wish you remember.
I wish I did remember that.
K2 is a fucked up drug. This should have never been legal. It should have never been.
Yeah,
legal.
I mean that was like the first like experimental legal weed that they had.
Yeah. I mean they had salvia before, but salvia was nothing like weed.
Salvia, no, that's nothing like weed.
Nothing like weed. Nothing like K2. Salvia was very enjoyable for me. Everybody else didn't seem to like it at the time.
I mean, yeah, I had my fun with it. I saw the fun with it. I've had it a couple times, so
I loved it.
I mean, if you're a fan of tripping and like very quick, intense, fast, with quick tripping.
Yeah, it was fucking that's 30 seconds of tripping, but it felt like
kind of the thing for you.
You remember the time I smoked that really strong salvia at Frankie's house?
I remember doing salvia at
rolling on the
house.
ground. This was his father's house.
Yes, I remember doing that.
I smoked that, and I thought I was dead. I legit thought my head fell off. And your mom was saying, I told you shouldn't have done it.
My mom was telling
your mom was in my head in this visual of me having my head fall off. I was trying to get my head to. I was downstairs in your lower level of your house. Not physically, mentally.
Oh, okay.
Physically, I was at Frankie's house rolling around on the floor.
Okay.
But in my head fell off at the lower level of your house, and I was trying to. That's why I was rolling around on the floor, because I was trying to get my head back on my neck.
Oh shit.
But
yeah, I mean a lot of crazy times with salvia. I mean I've done it more than one time, so I know how intense it can be.
Now I know this isn't like our topic today is not about drugs, but I do want to say one more memory about salvia. It didn't have to do with me or you. Do you remember Nolan used to have that fucking one? He used to smoke salvia, and he used to always talk about the spiders were chasing him.
I do remember Nolan talking about spiders.
Now
in the back of like Nick Forster's car or something.
So I put this together after years of thinking about it. Did you know Nolan ate a spider in high school?
Yeah, I do remember somebody telling me that Nolan ate a spider.
Dalton was there.
Some sort of amount of money.
Yeah, so I think that was haunting him every time he would trip.
Whatever
reason. Dude, he thought the spiders hatched eggs in his stomach and they were fucking coming for him.
It could have been. I mean,
I don't know. That fucks
when you have that many experiences with spiders, then yeah, something might pop up when you're doing fucking salvia.
He legit ate a fucking spider. That spider was big. I remember my dad brought that spider home.
I don't think I was there for it, but I do remember. I remember somebody telling me about it.
But I did almost eat a purple mushroom that grew out of my dog's shit.
You had a mushroom that grew
I almost did. Dalton talked me out of it. because I was trying to get a bunch of people to give me money.
I mean, that's how hallucinogenic mushrooms grow. They grow
No,
out
this
of
was
cow
not
shit.
a
I
hallucinogenic
mean,
mushroom.
just because it wasn't cow shit doesn't mean it couldn't have been a
No, I
hallucinogenic
think
mushroom.
this was a fucking poisonous mushroom. I don't know.
Well,
Dude, this mushroom was huge.
hallucinogenic mushrooms are poisonous mushrooms.
Nah, I don't. This was like a legit. Like you eat one bite of it, you're gonna fucking shit yourself and die. Dude, I'm telling you, I put that. Now that looking back on it,
I mean, maybe if you like,
I didn't know there was
if you
mushrooms
cut
that
it
could kill
down
you.
and like let it dry, it might have
I
turned
tried.
blue. It might have turned blue.
You
never know.
I wish I could find this mushroom because you'd be like, that doesn't look like a right mushroom.
Just
Dude, I'm telling you, the stalk of it,
the stalk
of it was like this big. The head of it was like this big.
Okay, that's weird.
It wasn't those little tiny golden
I honestly
caps.
don't know what regular mushrooms look like when they're still alive, but
they look
when
white and
things dry out and die, they all shrink.
I tried to dry it out for days. It didn't dry out.
Like even when you smoke or grow weed, like you have big fat nugs, but they dry out and they shrink to half their size.
Yeah, dude, this mushroom was huge, dude. I don't think it was any good for anybody.
I mean, apparently it's not that hard. Apparently it's not that hard to grow mushrooms.
I don't think it is. You just need a dark, moist.
You need to just an enclosed container and a dark closet or something
in it for the fungi too.
Yeah, apparently it's not that hard, which is what I mean. Frankie tried it at one point, but that was probably a failure.
Damn, that sucks. Speaking of mushrooms, I did mushrooms for my first time with you. With you, I've been talking to people at work about this, dude. That was the most fucked up experience. I thought I prepared myself. I've done tons of acid.
That eighth day?
Yeah, dude, that shit fucked me. I laid on your driveway. I was done. People,
man. I mean, an entire eighth will fuck you up. I honestly still have the last like microdose in my drawer.
Is it one capsule?
It might be one or two. I really don't remember.
Nah, that's not enough. Yeah, I didn't mean for this to go onto a drug spree. A drug's not the main topic.
That's fine. I mean, but what else are we going to talk about? I mean, drugs are something that people
is a big part of
people.
Yeah,
people experiment with.
Big part of the youth.
And I feel like most kids who are like in their early teens, early 20s should experiment with drugs just to expand their mind, because
definitely.
if you don't have that experience, then you don't have a full like experience on life.
Yeah,
because
I mean, you could also do it at an older age.
Because people who have never ever tried any drugs, I don't trust those people, because they haven't had their mind expanded.
Their mind's not open.
Yeah, because they're very quick to judge. Yeah. They're
in their own lane. Like they're like, I'm this person.
But when you've experimented with drugs, then your mind is more open to. It's more accepting.
You're like, hey, maybe I am this person in my next life, or my past life. Like maybe I was.
I just think it makes you more compassionate. There's a
lot. There's a lot to it. Yeah,
it makes you more compassionate.
It opens your eyes, which I do. Yeah, doing drugs, I do feel more compassionate towards life, to a point where it's so extreme that I am ready to kill somebody to defend somebody else. Like that's.
Well, yeah, because it makes you. It makes you realize like what's important to you. Like it makes you feel like
life is important to everybody.
Yeah, but
then you got people out there taking people's lives.
If there's people who have never done it, then like they don't understand that type of feeling that you get, and like they're just very one-sided about things. You need to be on both sides of the fucking fence.
So think about it like this. Not off of what you're saying. Think about it like this. So before you start smoking weed, you're like, okay, I'm Phil. I'm doing Phil shit. Those people who never tried drugs are living like that possibly every single day. Oh, I'm Phil. Until you're, what are you, 31, 32?
31.
Yeah, so 31 years old, for your whole 31 years on life, you might just be like, oh, I'm Phil. And that's it. Point blank, period. But there's more to it, because maybe you're not just Phil. Maybe these drugs have extracted you. Who's calling me?
No, there's much more to me, because I've actually done like
It's open.
this very wide array of drugs,
it's
and
open your mind to
I've
other.
had these various feelings, I've had these various thoughts, and doing drugs is what opens your mind to those different sections of fucking life that you would never think about when you were sober.
You never reach those points if you were sober.
Exactly.
That's
why I think experimenting, not getting completely
not being an addict.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting overdone with these drugs.
Don't make your
they can easily control your life.
They can easily destroy your life.
But there has never been a drug that I have like completely have been addicted to and that I have let control my life because money was always more important to me. And
no, not me. No, not that.
No, money was always the main thing for me. Like even when I was okay, spoiler alert, I used to sell drugs, but even when I was doing that and had an abundance of drugs, I never let my habits overtake my money fucking.
Yeah. Me on the other hand, I hated money growing up. I hated money. I always wanted to be, honestly, I always wanted to be a gypsy, Native American bum. I feel like nowadays they're all like the same thing. So I always classified like a Native American's probably like a classier version of a bum nowadays, except, they live off of stuff. I never thought money was important. I love drugs. I love drugs, but I don't know. I did let them control my life for a bit because everybody was like, "You gotta stop doing Robitussin, or you gotta stop doing."
Yeah, I mean, there was a point where you could say that it was controlling my life, but I was just doing it because I was selling it.
Yeah, and that's what you wanted to do. But it wasn't
I was making money and doing it at the same time.
That didn't make you who you were.
I wasn't losing money by doing it. So,
but were you ever like actually addicted to drugs to the point where you were like, I can't not do fucking this
There was
today?
a point where I was addicted to it, but then I realized that it was going to impede on my money that I was selling to.
Oh, we're on two completely different classes. I was
never doing it to lose money. If I was losing money, I would be like, okay,
you were like a responsible drug dealer. I was like an irresponsible drug addict. But I never got to the crippling point.
That's the thing, yeah.
Where
as long as you never get to the crippling point where it's like putting you in debt, and
which is, I feel like there's a great area of where that is, because I used to do a lot of Robitussin, I used to do a lot of Duster, and a lot of people used to tell me I needed to stop. But
that's something you should
never do. You should.
You could try it if you want, but it's not something you should be doing on a regular basis.
It's about 2 classes below smoking crack, which also I have done for a while. But
I've tried it, but it never took control of my life.
I did it for a couple of months. I was in a dark place in my life.
Well, hanging out with fucking
it was good
Kyle.
It was good crack. It wasn't even Kyle. It was just it was on my own. I found this shit, and I was in the trap house.
Where the fuck was I, man?
That's what Johnny used to say to me, and I don't want to be like, hey, I'm in the trap house. You guys want to smoke some crack?
Like, no, just get it and bring it over.
It wasn't that situation. It was a situation where if I got crack, I had to smoke the crack with the people I was with, or else they would be upset because they were crack. They were legit crack.
Because
they were in there.
They were about having a good time too. So if you weren't doing it with them, then they felt disrespected.
Not Gianni and Kyle.
No, the people that you're doing it with. You'd be like, no, I'll take whatever you're gonna give me for free, and I'll just leave.
Yeah, they weren't about that. They weren't trying to let me leave because I was buying I was spending like $300 a week on crack.
What?
I was smoking a good portion of crack.
Crack is like the cheapest fucking drug you could do, and you were spending type of money. I was
spending that type of money on crack.
What?
And it was some of the most.
Dude, the crack I've ever done, I don't even think I've ever spent money on crack. I fucking got it for free from fucking people who are just doing it.
What? Who?
Kyle.
Oh, okay. Well, I was one of the people doing crack. Me and Gianni used to make crack and smoke it. I don't even know if this is. I said no topic should be. We shouldn't be afraid of touching any topics. But this is there's reason behind this. There's reason behind why I don't think we should be touching this topic.
Yeah, because we probably won't get monetized on YouTube for.
Crack is honestly extremely whack. I've came to the conclusion
It really is whack.
That
because
isn't-
it's not worth it. It's really not worth it.
the high is not worth the come down. The high is completely
Nope, not at
not
all.
worth the come down. I'm going to talk right into the mic for this one because I
If it was
swear to
working.
God, if the mic was working, the high is not worth the come down. Every single time you come down harder
Same
than
with
you
cocaine.
fucking go up.
Same with cocaine. I mean,
Same exact thing with cocaine.
You can do as much cocaine as you want, but the come down is always 10
And
times
we-
worse than
we
the
did
high
cocaine
that you
for
are
a long
on.
time, and I don't think
I've
it was
had
ever
plenty
worth
of
it.
experiences with
I
that.
don't think it was ever fucking worth it.
I mean, there were times where it was fun and it was good,
No,
but the next day it was.
it's
the
not even the
come
next
down
day, dude.
was-
It's that night. That
Yes,
night,
it's
you're
that
like,
night.
we need more coke. We need more coke. Like,
It's
what are
either
we-
that or
we're gonna go get more
it's
coke,
either that or no, we just
or
deal
we're
with
gonna
the fucking.
we're gonna deal with the come down and hit hard. And it's a cold feeling. If you've heard the phrase like, "Oh, that's cold," you don't know cold until you've done
Done a
cocaine.
whole night of cocaine and then stopped.
and then stopped. And then what makes me feel the coldest is because everybody's talking over each other. Everybody's talking and having a good time. But if you
Yeah, but you still can understand each other.
yeah, you can. But say
It's like you're all talking at the same time, but yet you still understand.
yeah, everybody's totally. You're so energetic. You can lay down conversation
You
and
can
pick it
hear
up at the
three
same time.
conversations at the same time.
You're just like boom, 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 and you're like Superman. You know who to talk to and what's gonna set the mood wrong.
Shit.
But say you feel like saying something and you don't say it. Does that make you feel cold?
Well, I mean, when I'm on cocaine, I mean, I'll say anything.
I know, but when you're coming down and you stop and you're like you're in the middle of a conversation.
When I'm coming down, then I'll probably just stop talking completely.
And does that feel cold to you?
No, it's
Dude.
usually just I'm just trying to like make the come down as easy as possible.
Bro,
Like,
that's the coldest feeling for me. I
I'm
can
not-
feel it in my
when
soul.
I'm not all ramped up, then I really don't feel like talking. But like there'll be things that I want to say,
When-
but I'm just like, you know what? I don't feel like fucking talking right now.
When you're ramped up, you don't feel like talking?
No, when I am ramped up, yeah, I want to. But
Oh.
when I'm coming down, I'll just be like, I'd rather just not talk right now.
But
and
that's
just,
the shit that hits me hard.
But that's
right
why-
there.
that's why you
Boom.
need a fucking Xanax. That's why I can't.
It is.
That's why
true.
I
and
can't do any
I don't
cocaine. I
usually
can't do
that.
any cocaine without massive amounts of alcohol and massive amounts of not massive amounts, but just a little bit of Xanax because that's what kills the come down.
Maybe a little weed. See, I didn't.
Dude, I would
I never-
crush weed when I was on.
Bro, I
fucking
never
weed.
had that when I'm doing cocaine, and I just have the straight. It's like this, boom, 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 and then I'm having great conversation. We're connecting. We're having, and then it's like, I didn't say that. Boom, and I'm like, oh, and I'll just sit there for the rest of the night, and I'm so cold inside, and my soul's just like withering up, and I'm like, oh my god.
I know it sucks when you don't want to say what you want to say.
Yeah, it
But that's
sucks.
the come down though.
That's the come down. That's the reality of the come down. Is you stop getting chatty. You're like, I don't want
You're
to say
just
that.
like, okay, I don't want to feel like this anymore.
And then you're like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. It's either you get
that's
more,
where the Xanax.
you get more coke, and you spend your entire paycheck for the week on cocaine for 2 nights.
Oh, how many times did that happen?
I mean, I was never in that group.
Dude, I have to have
You
fucking,
and Frankie always blew me up, and I was always pissed off about it.
I
You
had
guys
to
would
have-
always get coke, and I'd be like, no, I don't want any. No, I don't want any.
Dude,
If they
there
ask
was
me, I'm
one
gonna
night
say
where
no.
I was so fucked up that I had to have Gianni's girlfriend Kim fucking call into my fucking job, pretend to be my mom, and tell me that I'm not gonna be able to come in because I'm too fucked up to fucking come in.
That's funny as shit.
She did that once, and I was like, "Wow, that is the best thing
Yeah,
that
that's-
anybody could ever do for me."
That's probably the greatest fucking. That's a great girlfriend or
That was a great person.
what is that like a not step girlfriend? What the fuck are these called when you marry somebody and they become your
I don't know.
sister-in-law? Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Semi-sister-in-law.
Okay, yeah, she would be a sister.
My sister-in-law is awesome. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We've been talking for an hour and
Oh
15
man,
minutes.
holy shit! Yeah, we really have.
We'll definitely go on for more,
Okay, let's
but
take a
let's take
pause.
a quick pause.
Pause video.
I'll open this back up.
All right, we're
Okay.
back. We are back from a quick cigarette break.
You just needed a quick little intermission there. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it's I don't know. We were having really good conversation. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, it was very good, very informative, and I hope you guys can relate a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely hope that we have people that relate. I mean, if not, I guess that's just another thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the
Oh,
comments.
definitely.
Or
We will definitely get back to anybody in the comments, unless we have like millions of comments, which will never probably happen. But people can dream big, right?
yeah,
No, I'm excited. I'm excited that we started this podcast. I mean, we've been talking about it for months.
yeah.
I don't see you that often, but every time we hang out, I bring it up because you're big into podcasts. You love listening.
every time we hang out together, I mean, our conversations just go on for hours and hours.
I mean, I honestly feel like we have a little bit of everything on our own personal conversations. I feel like we're knowledgeable at this age. We're experienced. We've had good experiences. We're open minded to an extent. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
open
mean,
minded
we're not very judgy about anybody because I mean we've probably have been in the same position as most of the people listening. So I mean,
I don't know what our demographic that we're going for is. I mean, I'd love to talk to younger kids and see how their lives are going. I wouldn't mind having a couple when we get to the point where we have a line that people can call into us on. I would love to talk to teenagers and
yeah,
see what their
that's
experiences in life are.
definitely one thing that we want to do is have a open line that people can call in and share their experiences with us, and that way we can kind of relate and give our personal feedback to them and just kind of reassure them that what they're doing is
Completely normal.
is completely normal, or
most of the time.
or if it's kind of outrageous.
Yeah,
But
because
I mean, we would just like to give advice.
yeah, because I mean, I know there's podcasts out now. I honestly don't know what most podcasts are about. I mean, I will name drop definitely in the future. Right now, I don't want to talk about the podcast I listen to because it's one specific podcast. But I don't. I feel like the most of media out or most like TV shows out, like they don't touch actual real life. You know, you watch a TV show and it's got a plot to it, or it's reality
Yeah,
TV, and it's
or
not
it's very
actual.
scripted, or they have like very things that they want to talk about
So
or
yeah,
not talk about.
I
But
feel like we're two real motherfuckers.
I would rather give the honest experience to the masses.
Yeah, because I feel like we're open to a lot of I don't want to have any topic off what am I trying to say? I don't want to have any topic off limits. I want to be able to talk to about anything. If somebody calls in, I want to be able to talk to them about whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah, because I feel like every every kid who's down for partying kind of goes through the same type of experiences that everybody else goes through if they're into that type of partying
we've already
situation. I mean,
we've already opened a lot of stuff without people talking to us. We talked about smoking crack. We talked about.
I mean, the way that we grew up. I mean, we grew up with kids that were older than us and who kind of had more experience than us and kind of had a way of parlaying us into the type of experimentation that
into the whole mix, the mix of what was going on. There was a big mix of what was going on growing up.
Exactly, and there's a lot of things out there to experiment with, but the thing is, if you're gonna experiment, don't let it
consume your life.
Don't let it consume your life, and don't let it control you. Don't let it be the main focus of your entire existence.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, we like to be open about whatever people and we are doing, but we don't want to promote extreme abusive stuff.
We just want to be honest about the type of things that we've been through and
yeah,
the type of things that we've done.
because we've come a long way. We've come a very
We've
long
come a
way.
long way because we we went through the college life, and we've grown out of it, and now we're into being, I don't want to say, adults.
Semi responsible
Yeah, very
adults.
semi-responsible adults, but
I still gotta get. I mean, my goal is to become financially stable, mentally
exactly. I mean,
stable.
that's what everybody wants to
I
do.
want that before I have kids. I want to be financially stable and mentally stable before I have kids, because there's a lot of kids out there that are born into a world where their parents. I don't want to say they're a mistake. I mean, kids are usually blessings, but there's been points where there's points in people's lives where they have kids a little too soon. They're not financially stable yet. They're born
Exactly. I
into.
mean, that's a big factor in being able to, if you plan on having kids, you want to be fucking
I want the limelight.
you want to be stable in
Yeah.
what your
Um,
thoughts are.
I think the biggest responsibility in life is not to have kids prematurely. I think that is a big that's this I feel like that's the centerpiece of life. Don't bring people into the world that are not ready, because not only are you not able to take care of yourself, now you're not able to take care of another being.
Yeah, because the world that we're living in right now is it's very very erratic, and it's not very not very
Sensible.
it's not very sensible to bring
It's not.
not very sensible to bring a new life into,
You can't
unless
stop.
you can explain to them the proper ways of going
Yeah.
about
You should
being
be able to
in life,
financially support your children, and that's the biggest.
financially and mentally.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our own mental problems. Me myself, I have mental issues that I wouldn't like to get into on this first podcast, but I would like to eventually get into my mental issues. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
no,
have any mental
that's
issues that
oh
you
no,
deal
I mean,
with.
I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself somebody who's
I mean, my mental illness.
mentally stable, but you know, it's something you have to go through to like figure out what's proper
Yeah,
and
it's
what's
kind of like another part of growing into yourself. It's like how in high school you grow into yourself, but after high school you also grow into yourself. You
absolutely.
start to develop different, like your mentality starts to change because you're not around people every day. Maybe you start to become lonely. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of different
Yeah,
things.
and
Maybe
you don't
you're
want to say the wrong things around certain
yeah,
people that would
anxiety.
make
Maybe
them
you
uncomfortable.
know
But
you're meeting a lot of new people after high school that you don't know anymore. You used to be around a lot of familiar faces.
yeah,
You used to
because
know
I
the
mean,
routine.
after high school, not everybody remains your friend after a long time,
Yeah,
but
people start to drop off. They start to have their
there's
own
certain
personal
people
things
that
going
you
on.
can still be able to confide in.
Yeah.
So people that won't judge you, and people that will kind of go along with what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
be compassionate about what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
I think a big thing is loneliness. Loneliness during high school. Loneliness during the high school phase. Maybe you're an outcast or something. I feel like that's something that you grow into when you get older. You want the loneliness. You want your alone time.
Oh yeah,
You
after
don't
high
want to be
school.
around 12 people every
Oh
day.
no, that's like that was like the college party days where
Yeah.
you wanted like to have a party every fucking weekend.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I want to be at that party.
But
I
no,
want to go drink and have fun with my friends.
yeah, when you get sort of past that, you kind of start appreciating your time alone, because where
Yes.
you
You
can
don't get much of it.
yeah, no, you
You
really
don't.
don't.
You
But
don't get.
you can but that's when you get the time to like focus on yourself,
Yeah.
and focus on and be able to rationalize the choices that you've made.
Yeah. Which yeah, I do feel like rationalizing the choices that you've made is a big thing of growing up, but also looking back on the choices that you've made and coming to terms with them and accepting
Mm-hmm.
them, because
Absolutely.
you made those choices at a time in your life where you didn't know what you know now.
Exactly.
So you can't hate on your younger self.
No, you can
for not knowing what you know now.
you can only look back at it as a learning experience.
Yeah,
And
you gotta, but you do need to accept it because I know you've been in situations where you feel like you maybe out of pocket is the right term. Maybe you did something that you look at now and you're like, why the fuck? Like that was just wrong of me.
oh yeah,
But at the
absolutely.
time of doing it,
We
did you
all
feel
have
wrong?
like we all have. I wouldn't call them regrets. I would call them just learning
Yeah, don't
experiences.
regret anything. I probably regret, like, in all honesty, I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but I probably only have regretted two things total.
Yeah, no, but even that, I wouldn't call them regrets. I would call them just learning experiences. No matter how you feel about them, I would just say that it was a learning experience, and I can look back at it and kind of tell other people about how to go about it.
Yeah, which people don't fucking listen. Definitely teenagers, they're not gonna fucking listen.
Well, yeah, because they're not at that age where
They're
kind of
ignorant.
things where things switch up
Yeah,
on you.
they just came they just came out the womb.
If there's one thing that I could say, it's that when you hit a certain age, like whether it's 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, things kind of flip in your mind and you kind of realize
Yeah,
what's important.
you're like, okay, I had my fun in life, and now I'm starting to realize I can't always have that fun in my life because other people that I have that fun in my life with are doing responsible things, or
Yep.
they're just not able to. You're not able to see everybody every day.
Yeah.
We used to see each other every single fucking day.
Yeah, but I
From
mean, even if you get to a certain point in your life where you are comfortable, then you could start experimenting again.
yeah,
Then, but that all depends on where you're at in your life.
yeah. Um, I think that just fired off a thought in my head. I have this obsession with the quote, "Don't quit your day job." Not because I want to shit on people's dreams, but don't quit your day job to me is saying you might have a hobby, you might have this alternate skill, but it can't support you until you're able to be supported by it. So don't quit your day job. Don't quit your
Exactly.
day job until
You
you're
need to
fine.
get to a position where you can
Yes.
balance your responsibilities
Yeah.
with your fun life.
Like this right here. Me and you. I came up with the great idea that we should start doing a podcast because I feel like that we have great conversation, and I feel like that's something that you enjoy in your life is podcasts.
Yeah,
Why don't we start it?
exactly. But there was a point where I wasn't comfortable about being able to share that type of stuff in my
Yeah.
life because I wasn't comfortable with where I was at in my life. But
But even today, say like we started our podcast. This is our first podcast. We're not going to quit our day job and do this every day.
no, because right now I feel like I have the time to put towards an hour and a half on the
Yeah, it's a
weekends or
Saturday.
something
It's a
just
Saturday. We
to
work Monday through Friday, so we
yeah.
got a Saturday to hang out, have a couple of drinks, and talk. But we're not gonna be like, oh, this is it. This is it. This is like I used to want to be a rapper. Believe it or not, I used to be Fret Millen, the rapper.
And just for I don't know what to say, but Fred Millen here is a very skilled rapper
Oh,
when he
thank
was
you,
putting a lot of time towards it.
thank you. I always put
He
in the
has
work.
a lot of very good written raps.
I
He is
do.
he's very decent, good at
Thank you.
freestyling. But that was something that he wanted to do in his spare time. And when you put the time into doing that, you get better at it,
Yeah.
and it's just a fun little hobby that you want to do.
But the thing is, I never actually made a career off it. I never made $1 off of rapping. I used to do it for fun. I used to go into YouTube
No, you
instrumentals and write
yeah,
raps
exactly.
in the comment
You
section.
did it for fun, and then those people in the comment sections would tell you how good you
Yeah,
fucking were at it.
which is fine. It's fine to have a passion and a hobby, but you can't just focus on that. If you're an artist, that can't be you can't just
No,
quit work and school and say I'm going to be an
yeah,
artist.
exactly. I feel like you gotta have like multiple outlets
Yes,
where
you
you
need to
wanna.
you need to go to work and as fucking
You have to be
much as I
able
hate to say
to
it,
support yourself
you
on a
need to be able to
money
support
basis.
yourself on a financial.
But
You need to have
and
a
then
steady income.
once you know that you're stable doing one thing, then you can focus on doing something that
Yes,
you
do
love
not make
for fun.
do not make your passion and your hobby your main fucking thing until you're able to make coin off of it.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, you're running yourself into a fucking short lifespan. Like you're running yourself into a corner.
Yeah, it's you could potentially run the risk of something that's not going to last.
Yeah,
But you want to be in something that is going to last, but then do
yeah.
your fun thing on the side.
So say I picked up. Say I'm working at Price Chopper, our first job. Say I'm working at Price Chopper. I'm doing good. You know, I'm doing that, and then I'm like, oh, I really do like rapping. I want to rap. I think I could make it big if I quit Price Chopper. And then I quit, and next thing you know, I'm trying to pursue that for the next fucking 5, 10 years, and now I'm nowhere in life. I don't have anything. So I mean, it's hard to think logically as a child.
Well, you're not nowhere, but you
No,
know,
I'm not
it was
nowhere.
something. It was something that you wanted to do for fun, and
But
you
the
know
best
could
rappers,
potentially
the
make it
best
for a
rappers
real
could
thing.
not be picked up until they're fucking 35.
I know it usually takes a lot of
You
time
know?
for that to actually take
So
off.
so coming out of high school and saying I'm gonna go try to pursue being a rapper because I got skills. I spit fucking fire bars.
But the thing to do is to make that a side hobby,
Yes.
and then
You do that on your own
focus on your main thing
You
that
gotta
makes
learn
you
to
money.
be you gotta learn to be a responsible adult. One day you're gonna possibly have a child because you don't know that you're gonna bump into somebody that I totally like this girl. You know, we're having premarital sex because that's normal. And next thing you know, you have a kid, and you're an aspiring rapper that you know at least fucking have a little job.
Yeah, but you know it's something that you do on the side. But
Yeah,
you want to
a
have
main
you need to
hustle.
have yeah, that's what I was
It's
just,
not a main
exactly just
hustle.
what I was about to say. I was just about to say you need to have your main hustle and then do
Yeah.
kind of what you love on the side.
And eventually,
then if you make it, and
if you make it,
then yeah,
then you can
go
quit your
for
day
it.
job.
Then go for it.
But it's like a good example. It's like scratching fucking lottery tickets and being like, I'm gonna fucking make it. I'm gonna fucking make it. And you're never gonna fucking logically, realistically, you're never gonna fucking make it. You know how many other fucking Joe Schmoes are out there trying to become the next fucking Lil Wayne or fucking Eminem?
Mm-hmm.
And you think just because you're gonna sit in your fucking house all day and write these raps, you're gonna fucking make it somewhere?
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
The other thing is you gotta have great drive.
You gotta
when you're doing that
you
kind
gotta
of
have
stuff.
your main hustle, and then you gotta have a hobby.
Yeah, you gotta stay extremely confident in that stuff. Don't give up on your dream just because you're like, oh, I'm never gonna make it. I did that. That's why I quit rapping. I was like, dude, there's so many other Joe Schmoes out here that are better than me.
For real, but you know, it's just being able to separate yourself from all the other Joe Schmoes out there. But the being able to separate yourself comes from personal experience and being able to
Yeah.
just focus on you and do what you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so
that's the thing. I don't want to. I mean,
money.
We should probably wrap this up in a second, but that's the thing. If you have other passions in life, you need to have a main hustle, and then you need to have a fucking a side hobby.
Yeah,
that can
if you
possibly
really,
develop into something
exactly.
major.
If you really do have a passion about something, like I do miss rap. I try to get back into it all the time, but I have writer's block. I haven't done it in a long time, so I try to do it once in a while, and it's just usually it turns into me deleting everything.
That's part of it. If it's something that if you don't continue with, then you know the muscle, the muscle in your brain kind of
you got to spark it back up and try to get it back. But
exactly,
that's a whole nother story. But
that's kind of the main thing that we want to talk about. So if there's something in your life that that you're very passionate about, don't give up. Don't give up on it, but just
don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Don't put your eggs in one basket, but just make sure you're doing what you're doing just to get by, and then have a hobby on the side, and then that's where your eggs can go.
Make real money, and then go out on a limb when you have your own personal time and
Exactly.
try to
That's the
pursue your
thing.
goal.
So, I mean, if
Um,
there's anything that we could teach any of the people that are listening right now, it's do what you love, but also be able to support
yeah,
yourself in your
be
main life.
logical, be logical, be real. Come on, you really think you're gonna
Exactly.
fucking blow up? Come on,
Exactly. Don't put all your
come on.
eggs. Don't put all your
You
eggs in
might.
one basket.
I really hope you do.
Have multiple ways of supporting yourself, and you know, keep going with it. And just main thing is just to have fun with it.
Yeah. For example, do we really think we're gonna blow up?
No,
No.
this is our fucking first podcast. So you
Honestly, it
know,
sounded like a good idea, and I was like, let's go for it because we have. I feel like me and Squish have a little bit. We're getting older, and we're getting that older man vibe or drive to us.
yeah,
Not
and
vibe.
we're doing this because we find it fun. We're doing it.
Purely out of entertainment and hoping that maybe we hit the lottery one day. But the lottery doesn't happen for everybody, and
Yeah, but
we're
you
not
know,
afraid of that
the
because we
mini
both have jobs.
the mini lottery is the hope that we can kind of inspire anybody who's
Yeah.
listening to it.
Make $100 off of this a year. I'd be happy with that. I'd be like, we fucking
You
reached
know,
somebody.
at this point, I'm not even worried about the money. I'm just doing this for fun
Yeah.
because you know this is something that we've been talking
Yeah.
about for a long time. So
But the thing is, we sit here. We've sit like I don't like we've said. We've sat. We don't get to hang out as often as we like to anymore.
yep, because we're
We both have
responsible adults.
career type jobs. We're responsible adults. We're trying to be financially stable on our own. We're trying to pay for our things that we got going on. I got a beautiful car. I love it. That's what keeps me going. I love it. So working is reasonable to me. I like working, and I know eventually I want a family.
Exactly.
And
Just
I'm
focus on your
practicing for that right
focus
now.
on your main hustle and focus on your
Yeah.
hobbies
Your
secondary.
main hustle is not rapping. Your main hustle is not art. Your main hustle is not acting. Your main hustle is a job that you can pursue and eventually, hopefully, find other opportunities to pay you more.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
make your legit money first and then
eh,
put it towards your hobby that you are truly
yeah.
passionate about.
And if you feel like that you're hitting an epiphany with your hobby, you can always call out sick on your job. Call out sick and try to and come up with what you're doing.
If any time is better than right now during COVID to call out during sick.
No, anytime is good for calling sick. Anytime. I just found that out. I actually got sick this week. Me and Squish got sick this week. We didn't hang out, unfortunately, but we both got sick.
Oh yeah, because we didn't know we were both sick
Yeah,
at the same time. But
we found out late in the week. But I found out I thought I had to go to work every single day. But the excuse, if you really need to call out and you have something going on, fucking call in and say
yeah,
that you're sick.
you use that
You
time
don't need
off.
a doctor note.
Use that time off to focus on your secondary passion and something that makes you
Yeah.
happy.
If you really need that time off from work,
Don't just waste that time feeling sorry for yourself or
yeah.
feeling like you need to do more.
Don't be at work saying,
Focus
"Oh,
it.
I should have fucking focused. I should have stayed home and focused on writing the dopest bars today. I had inspiration today." Fucking take the day off. Take the day off and fucking work on what you're doing.
Yeah,
But
and do what makes you happy.
just don't take fucking 3 years off. That's what I did. I would take 2 years off at a time, 3 years off at a time. Oh, I'm gonna go lolly dotty and fucking pussyfoot over with and get drunk and smoke crack or whatever the fuck I was doing. It's not worth it. I could have
Yeah,
so
no,
much more money
that's
right
not
now.
worth it.
I could have opened a business.
Put your efforts towards something that you know is going to make you happy later in life.
Because you never know. Your main hustle, your actual job that you're working might be an opening or a pathway for you to make money in a way that you didn't even think that you would have.
Yeah, it could potentially open a door
Yeah.
to something brand new and to a whole new
Like
life.
like say I took this money that I'm making from this job right now and which I did. I opened up a business, and the business was doing well. I never imagined myself doing that as an 18-year-old. That's not what my dream was. I wanted to be a rapper.
That was never something that I would see Fret Millen doing as when we were back in high school and stuff.
Yeah,
But, you know, he did it and it was pretty successful. But you know,
And then I had its downfall. Yes,
COVID kind of fucked a lot of things up, but you
COVID
know,
wiped it
it's
out.
still not something that is impossible
Yeah,
to
it's still
pursue.
something that I would like to pursue in the future after this whole COVID thing blows over and I can save up some money to, rebuild. I'm definitely gonna pursue it again. I mean, I thought I was gonna be. I thought I used to be a sick freestyler. I used to be fucking. You've never seen me actually freestyle. I used to hang out with Josh at the time, and
Yeah,
I
I mean,
had
I've seen a very small portion of your
dude
freestyles, but I know they can get better when you're in
mhm.
the fucking
I
zone.
had I had I don't know what the word is for it, but I had like a pristine freestyle. To me, I would be able to listen to myself freestyle while I was doing it, and I was like, wow, this is actually coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, but it's when you get into the zone and then you start being able
Yeah,
to think
it's
faster than you're talking and
yep.
but you
But
know
you gotta
it's something that you got to practice
yeah.
on for a long
But just
time.
because you're fucking amazing at something does not mean that you're gonna take off.
No, that's why you do it as a side project,
Exactly,
but
because that is not
you have to have your main
that
focus
is not income, and
be
that
able to
might
way
not
to
ever
make
be
money.
income. That might not ever be income.
Exactly. You gotta have a main income and then just have your
Yeah.
dreams as a side
It's
hobby.
now with me. I used to hate money. I know you were saying earlier that money was your thing. You liked money. Money was important to
I
you.
mean, I feel like I have to have it unless I'm
Yeah. So
gonna live off my fucking parents
you've
for the rest of my
decently
life,
been
which
good
I
with
don't
money.
plan on doing.
Yeah. And me, I've never been good with money. I never cared about money. I didn't want to live off my parents. I wanted to live off of. I wanted to be a bum. Point blank. Period. I wanted to be a bum. Um, I thought I would be great at it. I'm always happy. I'm a happy guy. But the thing is that money is one of the most important things in the world. D- After yourself,
Yeah, I
your
mean,
life is
if
important.
you're living in America, you have to have a job.
Anywhere money is important because it's the modern day survival. It's the modern day hunting and gathering.
Yes, absolutely.
And if we weren't collecting money right now, we'd be collecting food.
Mm-hmm. I'd be out there
And
fucking hunting for my own
if you're
food.
not collecting food, then you're starving to death.
I'd be living off the grid, hunting fucking elk in fucking
Yes.
Canada.
And if you're not good at hunting, then you're not gonna make it. Not in our world, in your own world.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't catch food and put it in your mouth, who's gonna put it there for you? Your parents for the rest of your life? I know you didn't want to live off of your parents. I didn't want to live off my parents for the rest
Exactly.
of my life. But money is the new. It's the new age. This is a whole nother fucking topic, but I think society's been around for longer than fucking
I mean, it
how
really
long.
has, but I mean, that's probably another
That's
topic
a
that
whole nother.
we should
We could,
save
yeah,
for our
maybe we
next
could touch.
podcast.
We could make that the main topic of another
We'll
podcast.
save that for our next podcast, but I think we should probably wrap up here.
I think we should go for 20 more minutes. It's been an hour and 42 minutes exactly. We'll make
Dude,
this.
I mean, honestly, we could honestly talk for fucking
We could
another
get
2 3 fucking hours if we really wanted to.
yeah.
But
So it's been an
I
hour
mean,
and 42
I'm trying to
minutes.
break up our fucking podcast here.
So it has been an hour and 42 minutes, but currently our time, we're in New York. If you couldn't point that out, we're in New York. It's 9:14 p.m. We could probably go on with this for another 3 hours.
Yeah,
if we wanted to.
we've been friends for a long time, and we chat for hours, multiples on ends.
Yeah.
But you know, this is the first time where we're actually recording ourselves talking about it. So, and we would just want to share it with anybody who's
yeah.
listening on YouTube or Spotify or
We
wherever
we
you
want to
get your
fill you guys in
podcasts.
what's going on because we have these conversations every time we hang out, which we hang out like what is it? Like once every fucking 3 months.
I mean, well,
It seems like a long time.
lately it's been a lot less and less
Yeah.
because we have our own fucking
I
jobs and
literally
lives. But
I work an hour and almost 20 minutes away.
yeah, dude. I mean, I drive an hour to my own job.
Yeah,
So
so it's unrealistic that we get to hang out every day.
yeah,
Saturday
so
and then
I mean,
weekends I want to spend time on my own. I have a girlfriend, long distance relationship, and I want to spend time with her because I don't get that much time on the weekdays. I'm tired. I work a physical labor job.
yeah, so it's hard to find the time to be able to put these out for you guys. So if
Oh, we'll find the time. We will find the time.
Well, I mean, judging by this first episode, I've had a lot of fun doing this. So I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but
I-
I've fully enjoyed this time.
Honestly, it's like we're having a conversation that we normally would have without recording it, but with a third party in it that we're talking to. I would like to make this third party really bad. I wish we could start right off the bat. We could have a caller like today for like 30 minutes.
That would be fun, but
I wish we don't have that.
We gotta feel out our demographic first.
Yeah,
but
we need people to reach out to us.
We're gonna upload this and see what happens with it, and
Wait,
we're gonna have fun.
So we've been an hour and 45 minutes into this podcast, and we're just talking about how we want people to reach out to us. We want to reach out to people. I hope you make it to this point in the fucking video that you hear that we want to reach out to you guys, and we want you guys to reach out to us.
So I mean, this is just a fun side project that we're doing, and we want to be able to share it with anybody who cares to listen.
I want to have realistic.
It means a lot to us. So
I want to have realistic
I hope it means a lot to you guys too. So
yeah, I really wish there was a third party here that we could reach out to.
Well, I mean,
Meow. What do you have to say?
Mal's over there sleeping with his eyes closed, standing
halfway
up.
Shut. He's looking at us like,
we'll definitely have some guests on, and
yes, please reach out to us if you want to touch a specific topic, and we will go get a phone next week if one person reaches out to us.
Yeah, we'll be able to have a fucking phone line open if anybody wants to call in, talk about your experiences or anything like that. So
next week, somebody reach out.
Let's just have fun with it. So anybody who's out there, we're open with you, and we're here for you.
We're open to any topic, whatever you want to talk about. If you want to give us advice, if you want advice from us, if you just want to, do not stop the video.
No, I'm just
don't hover over those.
I'm just figuring out the buttons because this is our first time, so I'm just trying to figure out how to do everything.
Yeah, this is our first time, and honestly, I'm having an extreme amount of fun.
This has actually been really fun because we used to talk about recording ourselves all the time back when we were in fucking high school with our high school friends and all that type of shit.
It was everybody's. I don't know if it was everybody's dream, but it was definitely our dream to record our fucking hangout.
It was everybody's dream at one point, but shit changes in life and people move on.
Yeah, we used to record. I don't know about recording.
When you get older, you get. Your friends start disappearing, and only the very few real ones start remaining.
Speaking of friends, when it was the middle school days, the high school days, it was 3 sets of brothers between us. Our main group.
It really was 3 sets of brothers.
Our main group was 3 sets of brothers.
Me and my brother, Tony and his brother, and then we had the Forrester brothers.
The Forrester brothers. They were the third party.
We were all about the same age range apart from each other. Either 2 or 3 years off from each other, so that's who our main groups were.
Yeah, it was very strange because we had the Italian brothers, you and Gianni. We had the mixed brothers or the black. I think we went by black mostly when we were younger. Me and my brother Nolan, and then the Forrester brothers. They were the Caucasian.
I don't know what Forresters were. I don't remember what type of
I
race
think they're
were.
French or some shit. I don't remember. We haven't seen the Forresters in forever.
Yeah.
My brother, me and SquishMitten's brothers are not anywhere to be found around here. Neither are the Forresters. So it's basically just me and SquishMitten right now.
Yeah, I feel like the Forresters are probably still around close, but
they're definitely.
We just don't talk to them very much. But
it's been years.
It would be nice to kind of reconnect at some point. But
it'd be really nice. I don't know. I loved all of us. I loved all of us equally, and we would always have outside people once in a while.
It was a very good learning experience to have a brother who was older than you who would kind of be able to parlay.
Not for me. I fucking hated I hated my.
I know Nolan wasn't
hated you.
Nolan wasn't really a good fucking
Nolan,
forward brother for you.
Along with Gianni, everybody was the prick to me.
I mean, Well, yeah, you
I
were
was
kind of the black sheep of the
I
group.
was the black sheep that everybody shitted on for I don't know even what the reason
I
was.
mean, they didn't shit on you because they didn't like you. They just kind of shit on you
Because
because it was
I was the
because you were able to take it. You were
I
able
wasn't
to.
though. I wasn't.
I think they thought you were, but
I think they thought I was too, but mentally, no, I wasn't. That's probably part of the reason why I have
but that's what I feel like.
mental.
I feel like it kind of probably made you stronger in the end.
Yeah, in the end, yeah, I had to learn to love myself on my own. Where I loved everybody else. Like I always showed love. I always
Exactly.
got, but then yeah, I always got shit on. Not by you. Me and you were always close.
Yeah, no, me and you were always
We were always like
the tag team.
best friends. But
It was the older brothers who were
I
always shitting on the younger brothers.
yeah, yeah. We even used to play basketball like every single day. It was always younger brothers versus older
Dude,
brothers.
even when we played older brothers versus younger brothers, the younger brothers whooped up on the fucking older brothers in
Yeah,
basketball
and it definitely was not
every
me.
fucking time.
My black does not shine through with basketball.
That's all right though. You're just another person to pass to
No.
and get the ball
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
That's what it was.
Nick Forster was definitely our star player.
Oh yeah, of course.
Travis Forster was also their
Travis
star
was
player.
the main force on the other team.
Yeah, he was their main
because
force.
for some reason the older brothers sucked at fucking basketball.
The thing is, Gianni was never very athletic. Gianni could. I don't think Gianni couldn't shoot. He was just. Gianni was smart. He wasn't athletic. Nick Forster was athletic. He was great at basketball.
Nolan wasn't very good at basketball.
Nolan sucked
either.
at basketball. I sucked at basketball. I think me and Nolan might have been worse than you were. I was definitely worse than you.
I mean, I feel like it was.
You were
just
a good shot.
Me, it was Nick always up in the post, and then me just shooting from the outside.
Yeah, and me was. I was always doing the janky fucking wild card shit.
Hey man, even those wild card shots, Nick would be able to get the fucking
Yeah,
rebound.
you would get the rebound and turn it into something. So I was something to feed off for Nick Forster.
Hell yeah, man! So it was a very good dynamic. I enjoyed it a lot.
We always little brothers
always whooped up on the older brothers.
Always.
So just remember, if you have an older brother
Fuck 'em.
and you have
Fuck
fucking
the older
people
brother.
that are older than you who are better skilled than you, try and play them in fucking basketball and see who the fuck works out better.
Yeah, or play some. I was more better at football. It was my thing.
Oh, dude, there were very few football games that we actually played.
Yeah, we didn't play very
fun.
much football, but when we did, that was where I shot.
You remember that one tackle football game that we actually played against like fucking the kids that were in my middle school, like Jim Care and fucking.
Yeah, I do.
Dude,
at Lyshville Middle School, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude,
I had porno in my
field.
pocket. My mom found that porn.
Dude, we fucking whooped up on the fucking normal kids.
Yeah.
But we just had that dynamic that was just key.
No, I was always more of a runner and a dodger. I was more of a runner and
you were quick, man. You were fast.
I was quick, yeah. I was like a little fucking bobcat. And everybody else was like wolves, and bobcats always will fuck.
Good, man. I mean, that's how it is. Like you gotta play to your strengths and just not take things personal and just have fun with who you are and have fun with what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't take anything personal because
take anything.
It doesn't.
Personal.
It's not going to matter at any point later in life.
The best is saying if somebody takes something personal, just tell them, dude, don't take it personal. We didn't mean it like that.
Exactly. Like
come on, we're your fucking friends.
That's what friends are about. It's all about trashing on each other and not taking it personal 2 seconds later.
And be open to making more friends. Whether or not if you have a close circle, like we had a close circle of six friends, older brothers and younger brothers, but we were always open to making new friends. There was other people in the equation once in a while.
Absolutely.
Just try not to butt heads with people. If you don't like somebody though, you fucking avoid them. Fucking avoid that motherfucker.
Exactly, but
make excuses.
Just have your own group of friends with you to have your back, and because they're always going to be there, whether they're trashing on you or not. But when shit becomes heavy, they're going to be there for you. So
and it's usually not worth letting things get heavy. Just turn the other way. Because shit can get serious real quick. There's shit that goes down behind the scenes that I've never been at. I've usually gotten along with people. I've never really had shit. I've never even been in a fist fight. I've threatened people. I've threatened to fight people, but I've never had to get in fights. It's not worth it because
that's the thing. When you know you got people behind you, and you got a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
So
but it's not worth turning things into a big fucking sprawl.
yeah, because later in life, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
not gonna be a big deal.
Next thing you know, somebody's getting fucking.
So don't make it too serious.
Somebody's getting buried, and you don't need that. In all seriousness, people get buried for stupid fucking reasons.
Yeah, very
and
true.
it's not worth.
So
the fucking time.
if anything you can learn from this podcast is to just have fun, know who your real friends are, and just stick by them and have as much fun as possible.
Enjoy your life on this earth. Don't get caught up with negative bullshit. It's just as easy to turn your cheek and fucking walk the other way. Man.
Exactly, because it's not that important. Because it's not going to matter.
It's not
2 days later, one hour later.
No.
So
yeah, you look back on things and you're like, why the fuck did I do that? What the fuck was the point of that?
It's all life experience. So I mean, just either have fun with it, learn from it, and just.
Yeah. It's not worth having a target on your back.
Keep trucking on.
Yeah.
But I think we should wrap it up there.
We got 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, what's 5 minutes?
5 minutes is 5 minutes. We'll close up the show properly at 1 hour and 59 minutes. We'll start to close up the show.
I mean, what else do we got? I mean,
we got everything. We got drugs, money, cars, hoes. What's that Prof song? I got cars, hoes, money, bro.
Yeah, that is a Prof song.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Prof, check out Prof. He's
if you want to get into a fucking musical fucking this is a whole other fucking podcast.
This dude knows a lot of fucking music.
We got very extensive music.
We'll hit that at one point because I've got music. I've got music. He's got a lot more music. He's more diverse. He listens to a lot of rock, hard rock, and
I'm more of a metal/rap type of person.
Yeah, I'm more of just like a rap. I like classical, to be honest. That's one of my favorite. But I don't know. I would like some suggestions for more classical. I like Debussy and I can't remember the other one.
Debussy? Who the fuck is that?
Dude, Debussy is one of the fucking best classical musicians out there.
I don't know. Well, we should get into it next time, though.
Yeah, one of these podcasts will make it mainly. The topic will be music, and
that's a very good
hopefully, hopefully
time.
We have people reaching out to us at the point because we would also like to hear some finish my sentence there.
Suggestions
from the crowd, from the audience, and hopefully we have an audience.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, we're gonna put this out there, and no strings attached. I mean, we're just doing this for fun, so I hope you guys find it fun too.
We are doing it for fun, but honestly, like I really want to talk to people. Like that's all I really want.
Well, I see this as very therapeutic, just to be able to talk about our personal lives.
243-943.
Okay, I thought you were giving them your actual cell phone number, but I mean, we'll eventually get a fucking phone line.
No, we'll get a phone line, and
people can call
hopefully we could get at least a small little bundle of people to reach out to us because I would like a third party.
I would like to interact with the fucking people. So
yeah, I want to make it before we end this podcast because we're at an hour and 57 minutes right now. I don't want to bore you guys to death. I'm not bored. I'm having an extreme amount of fun. I don't know about you.
I'm having a lot of fun too.
I hope somebody listens to this.
Much more fun than I thought I was.
Yeah, I hope somebody listens to this and they're like, well, "Holy shit, I am having fun too. I would love to be a part of the conversation." But no, I think in the future we're setting our goals on trying to reach out to people, and we do want to have people call in at least once a month, the first Saturday, because we plan on doing this every Saturday. The first Saturday of every month, at least we will have a caller for at least 30 minutes. I want to say
we're gonna try and do this on a regular basis. We'll try to keep a consistent schedule, so that way we can keep putting out.
No, we will definitely keep a consistent schedule. I just spent $500 on all this equipment. Just a little, just a little.
Yeah, so
A
I
little
mean,
effort.
once we figure out how these microphones work, hopefully we
Yeah,
can get you guys
because
some.
I'm just talking into this for a
some.
prop right now. This doesn't really work. This is not a real
Don't
mic
worry,
right now.
we will figure it out, and we'll get the content
Wait,
quality up.
show off your mic real quick because I like.
If anybody knows how to get microphones to work
Yes,
on a
reach out
fucking
to us.
regular ass laptop,
Call the motherfuckers out there.
feel free to let us know in the comments or
Comment.
something like that.
Let us know. We're definitely open to working with people, dude.
Yeah, because this was very fun. So I enjoyed it.
We got our own thing going on. We got work to go to. We're pulling up on an hour and 59 minutes, so we'll come to a closing. But we're looking for people to collaborate with, possibly, and we're looking for people that could just rant about their own thing.
Yeah, it's always nice to talk to other people about their experiences.
Yeah.
The same way we do. So
we are coming to a closing now, though we are on an hour and 59 minutes.
yeah, so we thank you for listening and
if you
being
are.
able to find something interesting
I really
within
hope
this
you made
podcast.
I hope you made it to the end because I feel like some of the stuff we touched at the end was a little more. It was a little more interesting and intriguing at the end than it was at the beginning.
Absolutely,
we were rambling at the beginning.
We were off to a kind of a rough start, but we're kind of trying to get into our element.
We're getting into the flow, and we're gonna get there because for our own reasons. Because this is what we want to do.
I know.
For fun.
I mean, we're having fun.
Hobby.
We're having fun here, and
I can see my friend every week now for a good reason.
Yeah, and we want to have fun with you guys too. So
just for it's all about.
Let's keep it going and give us some feedback.
Yeah, this was the Squish and Fret podcast, and we hope you enjoyed
the first inaugural Squish and Fret podcast. So
it was nice talking to you guys.
It was nice. It was fun.
You future
and
listeners.
we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.